Hello and welcome back to my channel, everyone. First of all, Happy New Year to all of you. I hope you guys had a great 2022, and going into 2023, I hope you guys have some awesome goals. I, for one, am planning on building this YouTube channel. So for all of you who entered my end of the year giveaway for an Elegoo Mars 2 Pro, thank you, and a special shout out and congratulations to George Oldfield, who is actually the winner of that Elegoo Mars 2 Pro. So if you guys want to do more giveaways, if you guys want to get more free stuff out of me, all you gotta do is subscribe to the channel, help support me. That's all you gotta do. I love giving away stuff. But for now, in this video, I am unboxing and I'm doing my review on the brand new Ankermake M5. This is the fastest 3D printer that I have ever had the pleasure of getting my hands on, and I'm going to break down all the pros, and yes, there are some cons, as well as showing you some of the fantastic prints that this thing can do. So without further ado, let's get into the unboxing and let me break it down what this thing actually is and what it's capable of.
I gotta say, the way this thing is packaged is actually fairly fantastic, like sensational. I love it. I opened the box and the first thing I see is a replaceable head and some replacement nozzles. This thing is actually really cool. I've never gotten a printer that came with replacement nozzles. Now with my Copa, I did get a replacement hot end, which is nice. I like that. I enjoyed that. But this thing came with extra nozzles and an extra hot end. So plus right there. On top of that, it comes with this really neat toolkit that comes with your die cutters, your Allen wrenches, everything all just neatly placed in this awesome plastic container, and I love it. Like if I ever need to get my tools, I usually just keep them all in my drawer where I keep my printers, but this is all in one, and I love how that's a thing. That is actually very great. So minuscule stuff is all here. You do get a roll of some PLA. It's not a lot, it's like half a kilogram, but it was enough to do a few test prints that I had going after I hooked everything up. So I pulled out the chassis, I did the metal bed or in the main bed here. So I like how this thing has a flexi plate to it. The put together was not hard either. You have to lay the Ankermake on its side and screw in the screws to the base, and then make sure you connect all the wires. Fairly simple, fairly easy to do. All right, well, let's jump into some stats. Like what's the specification of the thing? Well, as you know, it prints at a whopping 250 millimeters a second. That's literally 5 times the speed of most regular printers. I have a ton of 3D printers and none of them go this fast. 250 millimeters a second, even while doing the first layer, is incredible. And that first layer is usually on nice and thick, very secured. Adhesion is on point at 250 millimeters a second. Most people have to slow down the first layer to make sure that adhesion of the material is at its maximum. This thing doesn't care. It's whopping at 250 millimeters a second, and it's going to keep on going until your print is done. It has a precise 0.1 millimeter detail. At 0.1 millimeters, I don't normally print because it takes forever. This thing literally cuts time in half, so you don't have to worry about that. The built-in AI camera operating system is dope. This thing actually scans your build plate, checks your filament, makes sure that everything is in place before it even starts printing. So if you're encountering any issues with your printer, it'll let you know before that and say, hey, you might want to check this out before we get started. I think that's awesome. You can check it out, do it in the app, or you can do it through the slicing software that comes with the program. That comes with the printer, and that's really cool too. It has it has auto-created time lapses. I'm sorry, I just woke up. It has auto-created time lapses, so if you want to do a time lapse of whatever print you're doing and share it on social media, you can do that, no problem. And it connects to multiple devices. So if you have multiple M3s, or M5 Ankermakes, you can connect it through one app and do one slicer, and honestly it sends the print to the printer, so you don't have to do the whole taking the SD card out, putting the G code on the SD card, going back to your printer and hitting print. It does it automatically through its slicing software. It has a 7x7 auto leveling, which I'm going to show you right here. It levels at 49 points on the bed, and it does it very great and accurately. I've only leveled it once, haven't had to level it again. Pretty on point, pretty self-explanatory. Don't know if it's using some type of proximity sensor or BL touch, whatever. It's doing what it needs to do. It's super easy to put together, as you just saw, and it has a print volume of 235 by 250 millimeters. Now, for those of you who don't work in millimeters, it's about 9 by 9 by like 9.5 inches. So not very big. and that's one of the cons of the thing. It's not very big, but what it makes up in size, what it lacks in size, it makes up with how fast and detailed and quickly it does its prints. So those are all the specs there. Pretty cool printer. I'm happy with it, even though it's not my usual large scale printer because I do a lot of cosplay props. It does do a lot of fast printing for like little things that you need to get done. I actually started building a Destiny Ghost and did some busts on this printer, and I'm going to show you guys a little bit later in the video what those turns out. So let's get into the pros and cons. Yes, as with all printers, there are pros and cons. This one doesn't have as many cons as it does pros, but there are some cons there. Con number one, like I stated previously, not very big. You're dealing with 9x9 by 9.5. That's cool. If you're just starting out trying to get a printer, you don't really know, I wouldn't recommend this printer as it's expensive, but it is easy to work with. So it's kind of like a mesh between a pro and con there. Con number two, when you are loading your filament, it is sometimes a pain in the ass. I don't know what's going on. I haven't taken it apart, but the filament sometimes doesn't go in when you feed it through. It sometimes misses a hole and you have to pull it out, pull it back in, pull it out, pull it back in until you finally feel that the gears are crunching, or not crunching, the gears are grabbing the filament and pulling it through. I have to do that a couple times. Kind of annoying, don't really like it, but it is what it is. Con number three, the AI system will alert you when there's something wrong. Problem is, it won't tell you what the problem is, and it's kind of annoying. Is my lab on fire? Like, is something not printing right? Did the first layer adhesion didn't quite make it? What's the deal? It doesn't tell you that, and it's kind of annoying because I really want to know if there's a major problem going on with my print. Maybe I'm not home and I'm getting a notification on my phone. I would very much like to know specifically what the deal is, because I can check the camera and it's printing fine. I can go into my lab and it's printing fine. So what's the deal? What's going on here with the alerts here that there's something wrong with the printer? I wish that they were a little bit more specific. I don't know, maybe it'll be something that's updated later on as the printer's lifespan is starting to go through. Con number four, the slicer system kind of sucks. Now, this might just be a me problem, but the slicer program is actually super laggy. I don't like it. It doesn't really respond well to my computer. Maybe it's just me, but every time I've tried to utilize the slicer software, it doesn't work right. It doesn't grab the models. I can't move them properly. Every time I try to size them up, it takes like forever for the thing to respond and actually do what I'm telling it to do. I don't like that. On top of that, you can use other slicer software like Cura and Simplify 3D, but it won't utilize all of the AI features that come with the printer. So you're kind of stuck using the slicer software. Now, I don't want to sound like that I haven't used it. I've gotten through doing plenty of prints with this thing. It's actually fairly simple to use. It's just on my end, it's laggy. And I've talked to other people who've gotten their hands on their Ankermake from the Kickstarter, and they said that they don't really have problems with the slicer software. So maybe it's just me and my slicer software and my computer and my setup. Maybe I need to upgrade. I don't know. But as of now, I'm not particularly fond of the slicer software. Some of the pros that we got going on here, like I said, this thing is extremely fast, 250 millimeters a second. You can't really beat that. This thing is extremely accurate, and you guys get some high detail prints going on here. I love how you can check on your print through the app on your phone and look at it from anywhere that you are. Now, I've had some issues to where sometimes the feed doesn't come through, but it's no big deal. It sometimes refreshes, probably due with your cell reception or anywhere. This thing is easy to put together. I like the design on the LEDs. The orange LED comes on when it's heating up, and then it's green, but when there's a problem, it turns red. And I like those little indicators there. And I also like how you can actually slice in the slicer program and send it directly to the printer via Wi-Fi. That's pretty cool. The app is easy to set up. You can check your filament. You can check any type of stats on your phone, and it creates auto-generated time lapses. I think I mentioned this before, but you can download the time lapses onto your phone and post them on social media. That's something that I've never been into, but now that I have a printer that can do it, you're going to be seeing a lot more time-lapse videos on my social media account. So make sure you follow me on Instagram and Facebook for any other cool 3D printing tips. So great. This is not really a pro. This is not really a con. This is actually something that I've observed. This thing moves really fast, and as a result of it moving really fast, it creates a lot of jerky motion. So whatever platform you have your printer sitting on, make sure that table is secure. Otherwise, if you have another printer that's sitting next to it, it's not going to, that printer's not going to do well because of the jerking. It creates layer shifts and stuff like that. So I had to learn this the hard way. I have my Sidewinder going along with my Ankermake, and my Ankermake was moving so fast that it was jerking my Sidewinder, and a lot of layer shifts happening on that particular printer, on that model that I was printing on my Sidewinder. So make sure that the thing is on a secure table and that you have easy access to it and that it's not shaking anything. Okay? Okay. So let's go ahead and let's jump into some of the models that I printed here. So this little, I guess, supply catch or whatever, just got done on my Ankermate. This thing goes fast. The only problem is that it's sitting on this table and the Sidewinder is going, and there's a lot of layer shifts going with this because this thing jerks back and forth so fast because it's going at such a fast speed. So I can't have one going without the other, or I have to get a separate table set up in here or something. But this came out really good, so I'm actually pretty impressed. Now to try something a little bit more elaborate. Well, I got all these printers going. This little guy is just printing away. About 11 minutes left. This thing is super fast. That's fine. Can't distinguish between the heat bed and the actual parts. I think that's pretty cool. Over here I have my Dragon Shield going. This should be pretty big, but I think it might be too big. I don't know. I have to see. The diamond here just got done, so okay. Can't wait to see what this looks like. So these parts to my Destiny Ghost just got done. They look really cool. I used a matte, I guess, filament, which gives it that matte kind of look. And yeah, no, these look great. Total time it took was 16 hours and 16 and a half hours, but it also gives you time saved, which if you can't read that, it's about 46 hours and 28 minutes. That would be if I did this on like a Sidewinder, my Chiron, or my Cobra, which, good to know. These things would have taken damn near 2 days to print, but beat out a lot under a day actually, doing it on the Ankermake. So this thing is really super fast, and I'm really happy with what it's done so far. So here are the Destiny parts that I'm using, or that I made, that I'm going to be building here. I did them in small, and then I upscaled them twice the size of that. I used a matte PLA here, and you can see the quality on how these came out. It's ridiculous. It's actually pretty cool, and it looks like it was actually injection molded plastic. So I'm really impressed with how this turned out. Now I wanted to get this together before this video, but I don't know if I'll be able to get it done. There's some magnets I need to order for the attachments here that actually magnetize to the wings here, and then I wanted to figure out how to put some LEDs so it can glow on the symbol here. Kind of like the one I have on my shelf. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me zoom. There it is. So yeah, the thing is actually really good quality. Came with these parts. I can't even explain to you how good these look. There are some parts here that didn't come off the bed because, I don't know, I guess the modeler had like a raft or something. By the way, I got this from Thingiverse if you want to build one yourself. The link is in the description. But the modeler put a raft on it, and I can't change it. So you're not going to see this part once the whole thing is together. But these are the parts here, and they look fantastic. Now let's really see what this thing can do. We are in the Ankermake app. I'm going to be doing this Batgirl bust and her stand from Eastman. If you haven't checked out his Patreon, check it out. He has some really cool busts that you guys can get, and they're really fun to print. For context, I do all my Eastman busts on like my Sidewinder, on my Vox Lab, on my ANET, any other printer that I have, and it takes anywhere between 2 to 3 days for it to get done. I'm going to literally slice this right now and show you how quickly this bust gets done. Alright, so you can see down here, it's going to take about 7.5 hours and 126 grams of filament to do this thing. That is less than the average workday. Less than 8 hours for it to do a full bust. I usually wait in anticipation for my other printers to get done with these things. This dude can take it out at 250 millimeters a second in less than it takes me to get home from work. That's crazy. So let's throw it on the print bed and let's see what it does. You think this is blue? Nope. Blue. And then it's red. Blue. And then it's red. This looks amazing. Like, wow. Blue on one side, red on the other. Like, jeez. And it's only been going for about 2 hours. Wow, this is great. I like the way this turned out so far. Can't wait for it to be done. So this Batgirl bust just got done, and look at how awesome that looks. The color gradient is just wow. This filament looks great. Just look at the detail. I'm sold.
So, at the end of the day, this printer is amazing. I give it a solid 9.5 out of 10. Aside from some of the pros and cons that come with it, it shouldn't turn you off from actually trying to get your hands on one. So if you back the Kickstarter and you got one, great. I think you can go to Ankermake's website and buy it. It's going to be a little bit more expensive than the $500 that I put down for the Kickstarter, but it's a dope printer, and if you're looking to get stuff done fast, prototyping, whatever you want to do, done, go for it. This printer is for you. With all the bells and whistles that actually come with this printer, it's actually fairly, it's advantageous. Let's just put it that way. So that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Guys, if you want to help support the channel, subscribe, like, share this video out, hit the comments. It really helps the algorithm. Apparently that's a thing. Didn't know that. Guess 2023 is full of surprises already. It's only day one. And you can also go check out my Patreon, patreon.com/Will@HeroicStudios. If you guys are not into 3D printing, there is a support tier that you guys can take advantage of. So go ahead, do that. I have a lot coming for all of my patrons in 2023, actually coming later today and tomorrow. So go ahead, check it out, and I will see you guys next time. I got a ton of more videos. I got my Photon M3 that's unboxed and ready to go downstairs, along with part 3 of my JDF Green Ranger armor build that's coming. If not this week, then next week. So please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I got a lot to do and only a year's time to do it. So I will see you guys next time. Enjoy yourself. And if you got your hands on an Ankermake, let me know how you like it in the comment section. I read everything. All right. Catch you guys later. Enjoy the rest of your New Year's Day.